What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been quite a while, and the name changed to Guzzy's Customs instead of K Speed Shop just because I wanted to use my own name and use something that people call me, because people usually call me by my last name. So I figured to make that the name of the shop and name of the YouTube channel and everything else. This is pretty much going to be like an update video just showing the shop around here and what I've changed. A lot has changed around here since the last video, and a lot of cleaning's been done, but there's still a lot of cleaning to do. Let's just make a quick little shop tour slash update for the people that already seen it before. And I'll kind of start over here because this is the messy side where I've kind of been throwing stuff that's going to the dump or getting thrown away, and scrap metal and stuff like that, besides the dirt bikes. But these shelves here are going to go to my dad's garage because I don't need them here. I have new metal shelves. And then all this cardboard needs to get burnt in the burn pile outside. A couple things for the dump. Oil caddy and the tranny jack just got to get put away. I got to find a home for the cherry picker that's kind of out of the way. So some of the moving I did, there was a big metal cabinet right here. That's now way over there. And over here, I think I'm just going to scoot the toolbox over closer to the door, throw a trash can on the end of it, and then replace these wooden cabinets that are leaning and falling off the wall with some... I want to try to find some like vintage automotive shop or parts cabinets and put up there, just for the nostalgic feel of being in the old shop with all the old stuff. And then obviously right here I'm going to build some type of rack for firewood and stuff like that for the stove. Something preferably with wheels that I can move out of the way in the summer that I'm not using it. And then like I said, we're going to build the wall up around here to keep the heat away from the wall and keep the heat in this side of the shop. And I might need to do something about the roof closing in the attic right here because it stops right there. Close it in to keep the heat underneath, because I burned a fire in here the other day, and if you're within 10 feet of it, it's super warm, but most of the heat really is just going up into the attic. So I hang out up there, I'm sure it'll be nice and cool, or nice and warm. But down here it's still pretty cold because the shop's not insulated, as you can see. It's just a bare metal barn. So plenty of space to heat up with this stove. It is a big stove, but it's not big compared to this shop. And then over here, I have the nut and bolt bin. I'd like to get a second one and set it up for metric, and this one set it for standard. Because I don't really have a big metric selection, which I don't do a lot of metric stuff, but when I do, I want to have the stuff I need. And then these are all the old bolt bins that were in a little Harbor Freight stand, and the stand fell apart, so now they're just sitting on this shelf, which this is not permanent home, it's just where it kind of ended up right now. And then these two metal cabinets, they still need to be organized, but I started going through some of them and transferring stuff from old cabinets. So I kind of have like some of my electrical stuff in here, and then all of my blow multi cases for like special tools and stuff. And then this is the old cabinet that's been full, but since I moved it over here, everything kind of fell around and fell apart. But I have all my painting stuff up here and here. This is the rest of my electrical stuff, and the bottle of oil. And then kind of just chemicals and stuff down there. But this is all going to get organized. I just need to spend some time and get that done. And then back here, I'm trying to figure out a layout for all the shop tools that I can lay out, have them plugged in and working so I can walk up to it and use it. So I need to find a home for the bandsaw, which I don't use a whole lot. And it is on wheels, but I need to find a home for that. I think I'm going to leave the shop press right where it's at here. And then I have my chop saw on top of this little toolbox here. And then I have like other accessories for fabrication stuff in there. And then around here, I have one of the drill presses. This one is the only one that works right now, so I have this one set up just behind here. And then right behind it, the belt sander. And then I have a couple of these fixture table sawhorses that I've used a couple times. You can see I use them for painting things too. But I've used them a couple times, but not super often. And I wish they had wheels on them because they're super heavy and hard to move. And then I also need to find a home for the sheet metal brake. I'd like to put it against the wall, but it's also not practical against the wall because then this can't move and yada yada, all that stuff. And then this back wall still needs to get organized. I'd like to utilize that workbench back there and put my grinders and sanders and stuff on top of it, like disc sander and bench grinder and a buffer or something up on that bench just to utilize the space. And then I have this spindle sander that I really rarely use. I probably use it once or twice, but I don't know if I want to get rid of it because it is a good thing to have, but it takes up space and I don't use it, and there's other tools I would rather have. And then this back corner, I added a scrap metal bin, just a barrel that I had. And then this is all metal that I use. There's stainless tubing, regular exhaust tubing, intercooler pipes, and then a couple cutoffs of tubing. And then all my sheet metal for the plasma table. And then this shelf, I kind of dedicated a shelf to like cutoffs that are usable and more organized. So like square tubing cutoffs, some other round tubings that are too short to fall down into the organizer, and then some big pieces of plate and just little things. But this will get more organized and probably a lot more scrap on it the more I keep working. Some heavy duty shelves from Home Depot. Got 3 of them, and I was able to make this one full shelf, this full shelf, and then the overhead for the plasma table. And the plasma table now has the plasma cutter up above with the refrigerator for the air, because before it was all underneath and it was getting wet and splashed on and sparks, and I like it better up there. And then this one other shelf over here that just has like some dirt bike gear and other things on it. And don't mind the wiring that's just hanging down. Those are outlets that I need to move. The wiring in the shop is not the greatest, as you can see, but it'll get fixed up and I'll try to make it better as I go. I do have a shed outside that I am going to try to clean out one of these days and get the dirt bikes and all the dirt bike gear and tools in there so they're out of the shop and out of my way. But for now, they just live over there on the side of the shop, and the gear's over there on that shelf. The gas cans are over there in the corner, and there's just stuff everywhere for that. And another thing I'm super excited for that I finally did, that I've been talking about for years, is I finally moved my compressors in this corner and ran PEX for the airline. So this is my good compressor, the only one that has the motor that works. This one, the motor does not work, but I know it just needs the motor and I can fix it. But I tied it into it, so I have 2 tanks, but I kept shut-off valves on both, so I can use just the one if I need. And then I have one Harbor Freight little dryer filter there, and then the tubing just runs up and goes across throughout the shop. And I'll show real fast where all that stuff goes. So I have one drop down right here in the middle of the shop. I just use these little blocks, and they have little air bleeders, so you can bleed the air out in case there's water or anything. And then this one has a little blowgun on it. There's no air pressure in it right now, apparently. And then this side over here, I have air coming down for the plasma cutter. And this one, it goes down to this little filter, dryer, a regulator, and then through the other motor guard filter. And then from there, it goes up to the refrigerator, and then from the refrigerator to the plasma cutter. I still need to take this all apart and clean it, and I want to reseal it because it does leak. But other than that, this thing's been great. And then I have air going across this way to the hose reel by the rack on the side of the lift. And then I have this one that I just hung up, and as you can see, it's not hooked up yet. I still need to run some more PEX from here to there, and then that'll be good. And then I was thinking of one more going across to over here and putting a little drop down like I have on that pole for air outside, blowing stuff off after you pressure wash it and stuff like that, because these air hoses aren't super long and they won't probably reach all the way out there. Okay, well now we're gonna run across the street real fast to my neighbor's shop. That's where I have the Loadstar parked because it fits in that shop, but it doesn't really fit over here. So let's go over there real quick, and then I'll do a little walk around to the truck in there because it's got good lighting, and then show you the other stuff we got in the works. All right, we're over here in the other shop now. Let me do a quick little walk around of my Loadstar for anybody that hasn't seen it yet. And I know a lot of you are gonna say it looks familiar. I know Puddin's building one. His looks super cool with the flatbed and all that, but mine's more of like a semi-truck style. So yeah, just a little different. But let's do a quick little walk around of it. If you haven't seen it before, it's a 66 International Loadstar that I put on a 99 Dodge dually chassis. So it has the 5.9 Cummins. Get this hood up. This one is a 24 valve VP44 truck. It's pretty dark, you can't really see a whole lot. But yeah, everything came out super clean and looks neat. Looks like it just belongs in there. But other than that, it's got 24-inch Alcoas that have been milled for the smaller tires with the adapters for the 10 lug. And then 7-inch stacks off of Peterbilt. Some giant, I think they're 65-gallon fuel tanks. But this one over here is my diesel tank. This one over here, my batteries are inside here. So I hid the batteries underneath with this little battery box. And if you've seen Adam Spraggins' truck, it's just like his. I took the idea from him because it's such a cool thing to do, to hide the batteries somewhere, conceal them. You can still get to it with the little safety pins, and then little on-off switch to kill the battery of the truck if you got to work on it without actually disconnecting it. And then the rear deck, it is the stock frame back here. It's just all been boxed in and plated. Then I added the BW hitch for towing with the gooseneck, as well as the hitch back here for the regular bumper pull. I still need to wire in the connector for the trailer lights and the trailer brakes and all that. And then a custom bumper I built out of 4x8 tubing. And yes, one of my little lights is mismatch. That one fell out somewhere when I was driving and I didn't have another clear one, so I just popped another red one in there to fill the hole. Mud flaps are also off of a semi truck. Let's look at the rear wheel. These things are huge. They look super cool rolling down the road with this thing. It's actually a really small truck compared to a semi. So it looks pretty crazy when you're going down the road. It gets a lot of attention from semis too. And I had some pinstriping done on it. A little bit of pinstriping on the back. There's the little decal. And then the interior, it's still needs a bunch of love. Needs a seat, or at least upholstery on the seat. Needs door handles, needs armrests, and carpet and headliner. But other than that, it drives good, it's comfortable. Got the custom trans tunnel that I built. So the motor fits. It's like barely clears behind that dashboard and everything, because that motor is super long compared to the old V8 that was in this truck. Then I'll open this side of the hood. Take a look at this side. So it's got completely stock motor, like power-wise. It's got a 4-row radiator for a first-gen Dodge diesel. Intercooler is out of a 7.3 Ford truck. And then the stock Hydro Boost and everything for the Dodge. So suspension-wise, the truck is completely stock height from the Dodge suspension, minus the 3-inch drop shackles in the rear just to make the truck level and have no rake. But other than that, that's stock height for the Dodge, so it fits pretty good. I threw around the idea of doing air ride on it, but that's not really a necessity right now, and I wanted to get it running and driving. And after driving it with the current setup, I don't really know if I want to do air ride, because I like how this thing rides how it is, and it's super comfortable. And it's not too low, so I really don't scrape on anything, and it's just practical. It works good, and it rides like a stock truck. So yeah, that's my Loadstar. Pretty happy with how it came out. It's a great driver. We'll get it out to some car shows and stuff here soon, and hopefully get some footage out there. But now on to other things we got going on in the works behind the scenes. So we have this 66 GMC C10 that I'm doing a full suspension overhaul on with QA1 parts, and getting rid of the leaf springs in the rear and going to the truck arm suspension. And then once we get it back on the road with that stuff, we'll address some stuff with the engine, whether we're going to change it to a V8 or leave the 6-cylinder and hop it up a little bit, make it a little faster, make it cool, and still have the old 6-cylinder it came with. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this truck. I'll have a whole separate video talking about everything and going over it and getting started on the build. But that's all I'll show for that one for now. And then we have the Impala that we did a bunch of work on. And this one, it's been a good car, runs good. But it has its issues. Still needs a lot of stuff going through. I need to go through and clean up the engine bay, and I'd like to paint the engine bay so it's all just black and not rust, and treat it with some stuff, make it look good. I know a lot of people had comments on the last video of the Impala with concerns of putting the brand new radiator in without cleaning everything and making it right, but it'll all get done. Just a matter of time. And the transmission is leaking like crazy. As you can see, the little cardboard under there is soaking all up. So we have another transmission. It's a rebuilt Power Glide. Same thing that's in it, but we'll get that swapped out, as well as the disc brakes and everything that need to be done that we already have purchased for this thing. So we'll get that done, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do about body paint and interior work. But I know a lot of you guys love this car and want to see more videos of it, so it is coming soon. I just got to get my shop back in order and get it ready to take some work on. The Loadstar was kind of a rush to get done because I love going to Hot August nights every year with family and friends, so we rushed and got this one done, and then kind of just backburnered everything until we got the truck done. And now the shop was in a much needed overhaul, so it's getting that. But that's pretty much all I have over here. I just parked the truck over here because there's enough room for it, because there's not a lot of work that goes on over here. It's just storage really for now. And then this truck here, it'll be built in this shop, not at my shop, just because it's already torn apart over here. And I'm kind of just taking over the project because I didn't start it, but I'm going to help get it done and get it done right and make sure it's super cool when it's done. So there'll be plenty of videos on this truck along the way. And I need to bring some tools over here to build this truck. So I'm probably going to throw together my little Harbor Freight US General cart with some tools and necessities I need to work on this. And I'll show you guys my little tool setup and tools I recommend and tools I prefer to use, because I've used plenty of different stuff throughout the, I don't know, 10 years now I've been working on cars for a living. So I figured out what I do and don't like about certain things, and I don't mind sharing. So we'll do that. But yeah, that's about it over here. Let's get back to my shop where it's warm, because this shop don't have a heater going. It's super foggy out here. It's hard to tell on camera. But back to my shop with my little daily driver Subaru. All this stuff organized and back in order so I can use the shop. But I've been grateful to have the shop across the street to do what I need to do on the Loadstar, tinker with it before I drive it around. It really hasn't needed much, but it's just nice having the space, because that truck, for one, doesn't fit in here with the stacks on, so I got to pull the stacks off to pull it in this shop. So that's really a pain, which is pretty motivating to get a bigger shop, or at least a taller door. But you can't really get much taller on this shop because we're limited on ceiling space as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the little shop update around here. I'll throw some clips of the Loadstar drive-in and stuff like that, and whatever else I have that's been going on. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. If you're still watching this long, I know it's just been a bunch of talking, but it's kind of what it is sometimes. You don't have a car to work on or something cool to show off. You got to just do something. Well, that's pretty much all I got for this video. Just a quick update of everything that's been going on, a little tour around the shop. And there'll be more like this if it does all right. We'll get some cars in here and get working on some stuff. And I got some drifting to go do, which I know some of you probably know I drift, but I have a drift car. I take that out a couple times a year, not enough. It needs to go more. But with this YouTube stuff and trying to make videos and full-time job, everything's pretty hard to do. We'll get some more videos out here, get some more work done in the shop, and hopefully get this place in order this weekend so I can get some more work going on. Well, appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for sticking around if you watched this long. Don't forget to check out the website and see the t-shirts I have on there for sale, as well as stickers. I believe they're on there. Help support me, help support the shop, and keep this dream alive that I have. I don't know if it's a dream or if it's a problem, but I like working on these old cars and new cars and everything in between. You guys liking, subscribing, and giving feedback on the videos lets me know if I'm doing good or what I need to do, and it helps support me and helps me keep this stuff going. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.